Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. After a slight delay, we're almost underway here in Game 3. You see the starting lineup for the Roos on your screen. They're led off by Elizabeth Preston, then Tori Fowler, Carrie Johnson, Lindsay Bush, Haley Swiatkowski, Alexis Johnson, Maddie McPherson, Alessandra Tobar, and Faith Butler. It is Lindsay Bush who is the designated player for Kaylee Rush, who is playing third base today. Meanwhile, in the circle for the Tigers, it is the player out of the Beehive State, Megan Krieshbaum, freshman out of Cedar Hills, Utah. You see her stats on your screen, 2.845 ERA so far. Welcome to the Tiger Network. I'm Reed Rosales, joined by Caleb Reed. We're in for a good one, to be sure, as the Tigers go for a sweep of the Roos here in San Antonio.
These are two teams that have some very big conference implications with this three-game series. Trinity getting off started very well in their fight to get ever so closer to that top step of the conference against TLU. St. Thomas, of course, a big threat in the conference as well. But meanwhile, Austin dropped the first two games of the series and kind of in a little bit of a danger zone as they are right on the bubble of making the conference tournament at the end of the year, which is just 3 weeks away.
A one pitch to Preston. Too high, so a 1-1 count for the leadoff Roo bat. Tigers right now second place in the conference standings behind TLU. Pitch in there for a strike. So 1-2 count as Krieshbaum looking to get off to a hot start early on.
Elizabeth Preston 0 for 6 so far in this series.
Weak contact taken in by Baltzl. Throw to first, not in time. So a base hit for Elizabeth Preston as she's able to leg that one out. Just not strong enough of a throw. Too weak of contact as well. Valiant effort, but Preston will be a leadoff runner for the Roos as now Tori Fowler steps up to the dish.
That's one of the big advantages of being a left-handed hitter here in softball, is that you can kind of get off to a good run.
And there's no throw as that one gets away from Frosto behind the plate. So Preston will be in scoring position. Roos scored at least one run in both games. Lost 9-1 in game 1. And they lost 3-1 in game 2. It's a 1-1 count for Tori Fowler.
Trinity defense playing very far in. You can see Peyton Bowser about midway between third base and home plate. Also Samantha DeGawa making pretty much a straight line from first to the circle.
And that pitch misses. So a 2-1 count for the two-hole bat. Krieshbaum has her pitch ready. Taken for strike 2. So a 2-2 count for Tori Fowler, sophomore out of Red Oak, Texas.
Fowler 1-5 in this series so far. Did get a run on that one hit in game number 1. The only run there for Austin College in that 9-1 victory for Trinity.
Grounded foul into left field. So another 2-2 pitch will be on the way. Swing and a miss. Fowler goes down swinging, trying to chase at a good pitch by Krieshbaum. That'll be out number 1 of the game, as Fowler will head back to the dugout as that first out. So now Carrie Johnson, the senior 3-hole bat, will try and take a hack at Krieshbaum. Strike 1 to Carrie Johnson. Preston showing no intention of heading to third on any of these pitches. Stealing third, always risky in either baseball or softball. And that one too far inside, maybe a little high as well. 1-1 count.
Johnson 2 and 5 on the series so far. Got an RBI in game number 1 as well. Hoping to do a bit more here in game number 3.
Punt flashed, and now runner is in between second and third. Frosto will take a couple steps forward, and Preston will retreat back. Either way, it's a 2-1 count. Johnson takes a practice swing before stepping back into the batter's box. Low, ball 3. So batters count for Kerry Johnson. Trying to get it to Bush, who's waiting on deck. Pitch taken, and it's a drawn walk for Kerry Johnson. Krieshbaum finds herself having traffic on the bases early on in this game. Lindsey Bush, another senior bat coming up for the Roos. Could do some damage potentially. Runner in scoring position. Use the cleanup bat. Weak contact sent foul towards the Tiger dugout.
Krieshbaum coming into this game has a whip of just under 1.3, 1.29 number of runners she has allowed on base per inning so far this season. So now with 2 runners on, it's going to inflate that average just a little bit.
Swing and a miss. And the runner goes to third, and they catch the Tigers sleeping just a little bit. Johnson will head back to first. Bowser keeping the tag applied just in case Preston came off of third base, but now there's runners at the corners for the Roos. Still an 0-2 count for Lindsey Bush. Pitch taken, a runner in between first and second. Tigers won't bother with it. So 2 runners in scoring position for Austin College.
Trinity just wanted to make sure that, that they don't send this ball into the outfield on a throwing error, and perhaps bring in 1 run, maybe even 2 with that runner on third. Playing it safe, knowing that they can't really steal home.
Ground ball taken by Williams. She flips over to first, goes the easy route. So 2 outs on the board, but the Tigers surrender a run. Preston comes in to score. Make that an RBI for Lindsey Bush. Go to Haley Swiatkowski in the 5-hole spot for the Roos today.
It's not exactly identical to how these 2 teams started game number 1 last night, but Trinity did go down 1-0 early top of the first inning off of a Johnson.
Strike 1 taken by Swiatkowski.
Off of an early RBI, and after that they ended up scoring 9 runs. So whenever the Trinity offense goes down, they typically respond pretty well, as we saw last night.
We contact Bowser ranging in, makes the easy grab. Krieshbaum escapes the inning with minimal damage, but the Roos still hop out to a 1-0 lead as the Tigers head into the bottom of the first. We'll take a look at their lineup after this short break on the Tiger Network. You can see the lineup for the Tigers on your screen. Starts with Samantha Tagawa, followed by Sydney Watson, then Hannah Boudreau, Jordan Williams, Jordan Arce, Marina De La Luna, Peyton Bowser, Zoe Frosto, and Angela Baltzel. Pitcher Megan Krischbaum will not be taking any ABs today. So Sammy Tagawa starting things off for the Tigers against Alexis Johnson. Saw her back in game 2. Took a tough loss yesterday. Pitched very well by Josephine Collowine. She's pitching a little bit better. Pitch taken for a strike. So a 1-1 count for Tagawa.
We saw Johnson, of course, last night. Went 6 innings, 8 hits allowed, 3 runs allowed, which typically is a pretty good number to get. You tend to want to hang out around that 2 to 3 range in terms of averages. Obviously, you want to have 0, but if you have to give up any, the kind of 1 to 3 window is pretty good. It's just Austin didn't have any run support, and ultimately led to that very, very tight 3-1 victory for Trinity in game number 2 last night.
Outside edge called a strike, so a 2-2 count for Tagawa. Full count for Tagawa now. The freshman tends to start the game off just as well as Elizabeth Preston did for the Roos. Penultimate pitch. Weak contact. Getting through the third baseman's legs, and Tagawa's going to be safe. Getting through the legs of Rush. Elizabeth Preston had to make a play on it, and it brought Swikowski off the bag. So a series of unfortunate events allows Tagawa to reach based on the error. So now Sydney Watson gets to work with Tagawa's excellent speed on the base paths.
Here comes the
Tagawa goes. The throw to second is in time, but tag not applied. So Tagawa will take second base.
That play there, a lot closer than it normally is with Tagawa. Of course, Sammy Tagawa, the team leader in stolen bases this season, had 18 coming into this series, and did pretty well for herself last night as well.
Bunt laid down. It's a good one. Throw to first is not in time. And going home, that throw is in time. And Tagawa will go to second base. And Coach Wittenauer not happy. We'll see here on the replay. So that was a close play at first, but then runner coming home. And it looks like perhaps Tagawa may got a foot under the tag. Coach Wittenauer is not happy with the call, and now the umpires are talking. I'm not sure if the field umpire was looking towards home or if they were looking towards second.
It would be interesting to see, and in situations like this where I really wish that we had a mic down there, because I couldn't tell if Coach Wittenauer was challenging the play at the plate or if she was challenging something in the field. But either way, it looks like the call will stand, and it will keep a runner on a second. But it's not going to be Tagawa, it's going to be Watson instead.
Looks like they wanted interference from the third baseman. But Coach Wittenauer's please not going anywhere. But it brings up Hannah Boudreau. So Tagawa will be out at home. And now with Watson on second, she will go a little bit away from second base before going back. It's a 1-0 count for the 3-hole bat. So a strange play here in the bottom of the first. 1-1 count for Boudreau. We'll see right here. Yeah, and it looks like wanting interference at third base in the path of Tagawa's base running.
Bit of contact there as it was Rush who was standing on the plate, kind of blocking it a little bit. It tripped Tagawa up, and without that little slowdown in momentum, Tagawa probably would have been able to get home.
It's a 1-2 count for Boudreaux. Swing checked, ball taken. So 2's on the board for Hannah Boudreaux. One out. Hit out into right field to make it over the head, and it's gone! Hannah Boudreaux leaves the yard.
We said it last night. She has enough power to get over the wall, and she did it right there. A blast into right field.
2-run home run by Hannah Boudreaux. That makes it 2-1. Tigers leading.
Absolutely incredible right there. And you can see the celebration. That is the first home run for a Trinity player since the ETBU series to start out the year. The second series of the season for Trinity. And now here with just 3 series remaining, it was an absolutely incredible blast to send that one over the wall.
Now Jordan Williams will step up to the plate. Take strike 1. It's a 2-1 lead for the Tigers. Williams, one of the seniors in the lineup today for Trinity, along with Marina De Luna. It's a 1-1 count. Nobody on the base path, so that missed throw from Tobar back to Johnson doesn't really affect anything. Williams awaits the next pitch. Strike 2. Still 1 out in the inning. It's always quite a challenge to follow up a home run. Got to get something going again. Gonna have to reset your momentum a little bit. Ground ball up the middle, snagged by Preston, throw to first in time. So good play by the Austin College shortstop.
Batting fifth,
To throw it to
left fielder
first.
number 27, Jordan Arce.
Now Jordan Arce, 5-hole bat, will try and keep things going for the Tigers. She gets ready for Alexis Johnson.
RC, we already know what she can do with the bat. She was the other player to hit a home run this season.
Ground ball in the foul territory. 0-1 count for Arce.
She got 2 of them in game number 1 of that ETBU series. And she has speed to where if she can get a ball into the outfield, can definitely leg out a double. And maybe even a triple if it gets into the right spot.
That one fouled back. 0-2 count for Jordan Arce. Trying to stay aggressive in the batter's box. Johnson trying to get out of the inning. Pitch misses, so good take by Arce. Makes it a 1-2 count. Alexis Johnson's stamina. It's not too inconceivable that she may pitch every inning in this game as well. 2-2 count. 2's on the board for Jordan Arce.
Last night, Arce went 1 for 3 with a run. That one hit being a double. Also got a stolen base as well. Using that speed to her advantage.
And now a full count for Jordan Arce. She's worked her way from an 0-2 to a 3-2. Ground ball gets past the glove of Rush. So a single for Jordan Arce. Keeps the inning going for Trinity. Now Marina De La Luna gets a stride on over to the plate. Tigers keep rolling.
Arce not really trying to do too much of anything, not trying to send it out and potentially induce a pop fly, just getting it past the infield right there. Similar thing to what Trinity did in game number 1 of this series.
Arce goes, throw to second, tag not applied. And some more frustration on the faces of the Roos as the Tigers keep stealing bases. Now, I think Coach Brandon Johnson wanting to have a conversation with the field umpire. The Roos have felt that they've gotten a couple of Tiger runners on applied tags that haven't been called.
The slides in at second have definitely been a lot closer this afternoon than they were last night. And it is incredibly difficult to steal, or incredibly difficult to catch a runner stealing, particularly here at Trinity with how the turf reacts to players sliding, allows you to get a little bit more distance than if it was on dirt.
Johnson, the 0-1 delivery. Misses, so 1-1 count for Marina De La Luna. Boudreau leaving the yard. De La Luna has done that plenty of times in her career as well. She just needs to drive one into the right spot. Pitch misses, so a 2-1 count. Not a lot of wind here in San Antonio today. Yesterday, the wind was blowing in, making any hit into the outfield stay in the park. But now, more opportunities. That one catches the zone for a strike. So 2's on the board for Marina De La Luna.
Trinity's got a pretty average-sized softball field, I'd say, but it plays absolutely massively due to a combination of both the wind, a bunch of environmental factors. It feels a lot bigger than it really is.
Sharp grounder foul into left field. So another 2-2 pitch will be on the way between Alexis Johnson and Marina De La Luna. Tigers trying to keep pace with the Bulldogs of Texas Lutheran. This is a jumble at the top of the standings right now. Similar pitch, very similar pitch, but taken for a ball. So full count for Marina De La Luna. It is Peyton Bowser on deck should the inning continue. Ripped into left, but foul. That's some nice power and a good angle on it. Went off the foul netting, so we'll have to reset the play.
It's something that Marina has done very well over the course of this season, making the adjustments, and you can definitely tell an uptick in her exit velocity for sure on balls she's managed to get a piece of.
That one hit into left field. Arce will be heading home, and her incredible speed allows her to score.
RBI.
So an RBI single for Marina De La Luna.
Base hit.
Makes it 3-1. The Tigers put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the first.
Third baseman,
Now
number
Peyton
21,
Bowser.
Bowser.
She gets an attempt to keep the inning alive. 2-out rally going for Trinity right now.
After breaking out of that slump to start the year, De La Luna has been absolutely incredible. Went 4 for 9 against Dallas. Last night went 2 for 3 in game number 1. Unable to get a hit in game number 2, but she has really started firing on all cylinders here to close out the 2024 season.
A 1-1 count for Peyton Bowser. De La Luna standing on first base. That one lifted out into right center field. Could be dangerous, but a nice snag by Faith Butler. The right fielder ranging over to grab it, and that will end the first inning. Tigers score 3 runs off of a Hannah Boudreau 2-run homer and a De La Luna RBI single. We head to the second inning. Tigers leading 3-1.
Trinity 3, Austin College.
Welcome back to the Tiger Network. Your defensive alignment for the Trinity Tigers, of course, Megan Krieshbaum and Zoe Frosto completing the battery for Trinity. Jordan Williams at first base, Samantha Tagawa at second, Peyton Bowser at third, Angela Baltel at short, Jordan Arce out in left field, Sydney Watson in center, Marina Del Luna in right. As your defensive alignment for the Trinity Tigers. Starting things off is Alexis Johnson. 6-hole batter leads things off in the top of the second for the Roos. Swing and a miss for strike one. Roos have a little bit of work to do now that they're down by 2 runs.
And it's something that we saw yesterday, Trinity going down early before immediately turning on the Jets in the bottom of their own first inning.
That one fouled off, so 0-2 count for Alexis Johnson. Krieshbaum looking to put away the pitcher.
Trinity went down early against Austin last night in game number 1, but then it quickly turned it back on.
Over Frosto. The pitch is just a bit outside for ball 1.
Also something that we saw in game number 2 against Dallas, as Trinity went down 0-1 and didn't get the party started immediately.
No, a 2-2 count for Johnson. Pitch misses high and away. Trying to attack the top part of the zone, but Krieshbaum missing her spots right now.
This is a team that really does well whenever they're trailing.
Put out into right field, foul. Goes off the fencing in right field. So they'll have to reset and do the 2-2 count again.
Krieshbaum coming into this series overall, a 2.45 ERA.
Ground ball right to Bowser. Throw over to first is in time. Nice pick by Williams over at first. Out number 1 of the top of the second.
Batting 7th.
Thanks to the weak contact.
18, Maddie McPherson.
So now Maddie McPherson. So I'll come in at the end of game 2 yesterday. Now has a starting role today. McPherson gets the Tagawa up shift. Takes that first pitch for ball 1.
Austin deciding to do things a little bit differently here today as opposed to yesterday. Of course, yesterday it felt like they weren't able to make contact hardly at all.
1-1 count for McPherson.
It was Jordan Arce in game number 1 who only allowed 2 hits, and then in game number 2, Josephine Colwine went the full 7 innings with only 4 hits allowed. So Austin really struggling and trying to do a little bit extra here in game number 3, just trying something different and get a different look against a different pitcher.
The junior out of Anna, Texas, steps back into the box. Tigers still waiting for contact. It's fouled back. 2-2 count for McPherson now. Bruise. Their pinstripe look. Tigers with the red tops and the gray pants. Almost a similar color gray. the day were a bit more overcast. It's just kind of cloudy today, though. Pitch too high. Full count for McPherson. Krieshbaum has already issued one walk. Trying not to issue another.
You mentioned this Trinity defense being ready for contact. This is a team that does not take any play off. They are 100% of the time.
That's taken for ball 4. Walk drawn by McPherson as Krieshbaum loses the batter.
Batting eighth, catcher number 00,
Now,
Alessandro Tobar.
Alessandro Tobar will try and advance the runner. Again, Tobar with the oddity where she is listed as 00 in some places, 0 in others, but the reality shows that she's just 1-0. But can she be the hero in this at-bat? Bunt flash, throw over to second in time. A tag not applied. So good attempt to get the runner that took off, but McPherson will slide in safe.
Throw was just a bit offline there. Made Baltz have to go a little bit too far over for it, and I think that McPherson was able to get in behind the tag before Baltz could deliver it.
It's an 0-1 count for Tobar. Now an 0-2 count. She takes that one for a strike.
Tobar last night did not play in game number 1. Did play in game number 2 as the catcher had 1 hit on 2 at-bats.
Fouled off into the foul netting. So still an 0-2 count. Krieshbaum ahead. Trying to put away the 8-hole bat for the Roos. Of course, Austin College out of Sherman, Texas, north of the DFW area. Pitch misses. 1-2 count. Tobar taking a moment. Having the pure red bat in her hands. That pitch misses the zone. So a 2-2 count. So now Krieshbaum really needing to put one in the zone lest she loses another batter.
Saw the stats this season for Tobar flash up there on your screen.
Ground ball snagged by Baltzel. Throw to first in time. Throw to third is not in time. So McPherson advances, but there's 2 outs on the board in the top of the second.
Ninth, right fielder number 4.
Very smart running there by McPherson. Just doing her job, making sure that she knew the timing and knew the situation. And not being too aggressive, getting herself tagged out as well. And able to move 60 feet forward now to just 60 feet away from home.
Strike taken by Faith Butler. Butler, 9-hole bat for the Roos here in Game 3. So they try to avoid the sweep at the hands of the Tigers. It's been tough getting things going on offense. That one is fouled off. 0-2 count. They've only put up a combined 2 runs in this series. Offense has been something that has been a struggle since they've entered conference. They've scored now 28 runs for themselves and have now allowed 75 runs to their opponents. Of course, not a winning ratio by any means. And it still won't be happening as Butler gets called looking. Strike 3 delivered by Krieshbaum. So the Roos will strand McPherson at third base as Krieshbaum collects a strikeout. Due up for the Tigers is Zoe Frosto, Angela Baltzel, and Samantha Tagawa. And we head to the bottom of the second on the Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Tiger Network. Defensive alignment for the Roos. Alexis Johnson and Alessandra Tobar completing the battery for Austin College. This is the first ever AB this season for Zoe Frosto, potentially. She's been flexed for many a times, but now stick in her hands. See what she can do against Johnson. The Tigers trying to continue a good offensive pace. Put out into the gap in left center. It's deep and it's off the wall. Frosto will try to head to second. Throw is in time, but the tag not applied. So the first AB of the year for Zoe Frosto is a leadoff double as she ripped that one out into left center field.
Only needed one pitch to get that one all the way over to the wall. Frosto came in and absolutely smashed that one out to the outfield wall. And now it brings up Angela Baltzl to potentially continue the momentum that Frosto got started.
Frosto on second base for Angela Baltzl. Takes ball one. Haley Swiatkowski over at first base. Maddie McPherson at second. Kaylee Rush at third. Elizabeth Preston at the shortstop position. Tori Fowler in left. Carrie Johnson in center. And Faith Butler in right. It's your defensive alignment for the Roos. Now it's a 2-0 count for Angela Baltzl. 9-hole bat, but still a very capable one. Very dangerous. She is what makes the Tiger lineup feel extremely long for a pitcher.
A pitcher does not get any free outs on this team. There's nobody who you can really say that a pitcher can maybe take a break on, because whenever you have your 9-hole hitter who is so capable, hitting .347 coming into this series on the season.
And a 4-pitch walk issued to Angela Baltzl. The two base runners for Sammy Tagawa. So now she gets a second look at Johnson today. Sammy 0 for 1 today. Certainly looked again on base. Could load the bases. The patient bat that she is if Johnson doesn't give her anything that she likes.
The single season walk record holder for Trinity absolutely blew that record out of the water, as she had a very impressive 32 coming into this series and didn't get one last night in either game. But with the previous record being 20, it is quite an impressive feat to see.
Tagawa, 1-1 count. Pitch misses high. Makes it 2-1 for the leadoff Tiger bat.
Tagawa reached on an error in her first plate appearance of the day.
Ground ball gets through to center field. Frosto will be held at third. So an ambush of Tigers on the bases, as Sydney Watson has an opportunity to score quite a few runs if she can put one out into the gap. Meeting in the circle for the Roos, as Coach Johnson wanting to talk things out with pitcher Alexis Johnson.
Tagawa went 4 for 6 last night and continuing a very strong performance here this afternoon, but Sydney Watson as well up at the plate. 1 for 1, hit a single in her first plate appearance. Went 1 for 1 in game number 1 last night, and then followed that up with a tough 0 for 3 performance, but is starting today off very well.
Tagawa will be hard-pressed to find a stolen base for herself as the bases are loaded. 21 stolen bases for Tagawa. It's the most for a player in a single season since 2013, when Brooke Sanchez stole 43 bases. But some good speed on the base paths for the Tigers right now. Sacrifice fly opportunity on the board. Watson grounder The throw to home is in time. So they'll get Frosto at home as they take the force out. But Sydney Watson will reach on the fielder's choice. And now it is nothing but speed on the base paths.
Designated player number 23, Hannah Boudreau.
Zoe Frosto. If it were a sacrifice fly, may have been needed to be a little bit deeper. Not as fast as Baltzel, Tagawa, or Watson on the base paths. But Boudreau takes strike one. Know what she did in her last AB. Home run here would clear the bases and put this one out of hand very quickly. Don't necessarily need a home run either. Oh, it's fouled back. 0-2 count for Boudreau.
Boudreau, the freshman out of Pearland, has been so good so far this season. It's just, it feels like there's nothing that she can't do with the bat in her hands. Leads the team in average, OPS, hits, doubles as well, despite not having the most speed on the team, and of course leads the team in RBIs as well.
Put into right field, but foul. It's the netting above the Rue dugout. Still an 0-2 count for Hannah Boudreau. She doesn't shy away from these types of situations. Steps back up to the plate. Weak contact taken by the third baseman, but bobble throw to first is not in time, so a run will score as Kaylee Rush can't make the play. It is 4-1 as the Tigers get a run off of the error by Rush.
Errors proving costly. That's going to be the second error of the day credited to the Austin College defense, and Trinity really taking advantage of it here, and it brings up Jordan Williams, who herself is a very, very big threat with the bat in her hands. Incredibly, incredibly similar to Hannah Boudreau as well. Very smart batter. Of course, the all-time walks leader for Trinity, but also has one of the fewest strikeout totals on this team so far this year, with just 2 coming into this series.
Pitch misses, a 1-1 count for Jordan Williams. Still working with the bases loaded. Tagawa at third, Watson at second, Boudreau at first. Still a sacrifice fly situation for the Tigers. And Austin College infield still playing in. Lifted. It's going to go off the top of the Tiger dugout and roll harmlessly outside of play. Alexis Johnson. Tigers are certainly seeing her a bit better here in Game 3 than they did in Game 2.
Johnson, as a pitcher, very used to going complete games.
We contact right to the third baseman, so no advancement from the runners as Jordan Williams lines out to Rush. Fortunate out for the Roos. There's 2 on the board in the bottom of the second.
Left fielder number 27.
Now Jordan Arce, now not the only one with a home run this season, now that Boudreau has gone deep. Certainly know her power. We'll see what she does here against Johnson in the 2-out situation.
Arce 1 for 1 on the day, hit a single in the first inning.
1-0 count as that pitch was too low for Jordan Arce. Of course, Johnson would hope that only 1 run would come across in the bases loaded situation. Fouled off. So 1-1 count. Arce taking some practice swings. Steps back in to the batter's box. Alexis Johnson getting the signal from head coach in the dugout. A pitch misses. 2-1 count. Certainly don't want to walk a batter with the bases loaded. Would walk in a run.
Johnson came into this series wearing a 3.62 ERA, second best on the team behind Carrie Johnson. And
pitch is low and away. 3-1 count for Jordan Arce. Now Johnson will have to be especially careful of where she puts a pitch. Have to think it'd be in the zone. And it is. Put in for strike 2. Full count for Jordan Arce. Bases loaded. Tigers leading 4-1 right now. Arce opportunity to extend the lead for Trinity. Johnson trying to make it so the deficit is only 3 runs. And that one is lifted. It should be an easy play, and it is. Maddie McPherson catches the can of corn, and that'll end the second inning. So Ruse make it so the Tigers strand runners at every base. Trinity still leading 4-1 as we head to the top of the third. Elizabeth Preston, Tori Fowler, and Carrie Johnson, top of the order, due up for the Ruse. Elizabeth Preston will start things off for the Ruse, top of the order. Krieshbaum trying to work another good inning. Has allowed 1 run, but Tigers up 4-1 as the bats have given her the lead to work with. First pitch misses on the outside. 1-0 count for Preston. Senior is 1 for 1 today, singled back in the first inning. 1-1 count as Preston takes that for a strike. Good location from Krieshbaum. Now stepping back into the batter's box. Krieshbaum readying the 1-1 pitch. Bunt flash, it's laid down and wisely signaled by Frosto to let that one roll foul. And Bowser does let it roll foul, so it's a 1-2 count. Tigers certainly wouldn't have gotten Preston on the throw to first. See how Preston recalculates now. High outside, 2-2 count. Now Preston. Tori Fowler on deck. And Carrie Johnson in the hole. A lot of speed at the top of the order for the Ruse. That one fouled back. Or perhaps not. Umpire, I'm going to wait for him to flash up the count. I believe that it was a foul back. I didn't see a signal from the home plate umpire. It was 2-2 count. Ground ball up the middle off of Krieshbaum. And that will be a base hit for Elizabeth Preston.
Base hit for Elizabeth Preston.
Just going off of Krieshbaum. Unlucky play.
Number 2 slot, left fielder, number 9.
Good work here by Preston as she went 0 for 6 last night, and so far today 2 for 2 on the line for her. Doesn't look like Krieshbaum is too shaken up by that hit. Looks like it just went through the legs, maybe bounced off the inside of the shoe.
Tori Fowler gets to work with Preston on base again. Struck out last time, bunt flashed and fouled back. Preston was taken off for second base. So clearly, the Roos trying to remain aggressive on the base paths. Runner goes. Throw is going to be almost into center field, but Sydney Watson coming up to take the errant throw from Zoe Frosto. So Preston steals second. Runner in scoring position for Fowler.
That's a heads-up kind of defense that Trinity has been really good at so far this season. We saw it a lot last night with the defense doing a great job at stifling the Austin offense.
Pitch misses. It's a 2-1 count. Tagawa and Bowser playing up. Hoping that Fowler grounds it to them. The shift worked very well yesterday. Fouled back. 2-2 count for Tori Fowler.
Fowler struck out in her first plate appearance. Went 1 for 2 in game number 1 and then 0 for 3 in game number 2 last night. Going to do a bit better here.
Good pitch, but misses the zone. Russell will shoo Preston back to second base. It's a 3-2 count for Fowler. Now the full count pitch on the way from Megan Krieshbaum. Ground ball taken in by Bowser. Throw to first in time, and Tigers won't bother throwing it to third. Instead, Jordan Williams will go to Krieshbaum herself and hand the ball off.
Third, center fielder number 20.
One out on the board.
Johnson.
Sacrifice fly opportunity for Carrie Johnson. The senior could bring in another senior to make it 4-2. If she were to sacrifice fly or get a hit. And maybe a bit of an oopsie swing. And Williams will tag Johnson. So RBI for Carrie Johnson as
RBI
Jordan Williams
for Carrie
chooses to play tag with Carrie Johnson instead of stepping on the bag. But Preston will come in to score. It is 4-2 in the top of the third.
Williams just kind of having a little bit of fun with it, knowing that, you know, she wasn't going to be able to get the play at first and the play at home, so just kind of getting in the way of Johnson a little bit there, having a bit of fun with it.
It's Lindsay Bush. Cleanup bat, has an RBI for herself. Ahead in a 2-0 count. Young pitching staff for the Tigers. Krieshbaum has struck out 2 and walked 2. So now allowed 2 runs. And that's a good strike put in the zone. 2-1 count for Bush.
All 2s on the stat line for Krieshbaum so far. 2 2/2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Ground ball, snagged by Baltzl. Throw to first in time. Easy play by the Tigers. But Austin College does scratch another run across. It is 4-2 heading into the bottom of the third. Marina De Luna, Peyton Bowser, and Zoe Frosto due up for the Tigers after this break on the Tiger Network.
College 2. Luna.
Marina De La Luna starting things off for the Tigers in the bottom of the third. Still faces Alexis Johnson. De La Luna had an RBI single back in the first, part of that 3-run barrage that the Tigers started the game with. First pitch, taken for strike one. I believe a new third baseman for the Roos. It's number 2, Tessa Contreras, sophomore out of Carrollton, Texas, coming in to play that position in place of Kaylee Rush. Next pitch taken. So a meeting in the circle between pitcher and catcher. Tobar wants to talk with Johnson for a moment.
De La Luna 1 for 1 so far on the day and went 2 for 3 in game number 1. So she's definitely heating up in the more critical time of the year.
And that pitch in the turf before it reaches home plate. It's a 2-1 count for Marina De La Luna. 6-hole bat. And the senior trying to lead her team. That one popped into right field. Play could be made, but it is not. Whole host of Kangaroos going out there to try and make the play, but none of the mob can make it. Johnson. 2-2 count against Marina De La Luna. That one poked out into right field. That catch is easily made by Faith Butler. So De La Luna will be retired. We head over to Peyton Bowser.
Third baseman number 21, Peyton Bowser.
Bowser 0 for 1 today. Doesn't work with anybody on base, but could potentially be the starting base runner. So he wants to get on after Zoe Frosto flashed that power in her first AB. That one taken on the inside for ball 1. Bowser flew out to Butler over in right field back in AB number 1 in the first inning.
That one was to end the first inning as well, but hoping to get things started off well here as Coach Whitnauer has to dive out of the way of that one. Able to stay upright. Glad to see her back on the field, of course, after finally being able to go into the walking boot rather than the roller.
Fouled back, 1-2 count for Peyton Bowser. Coach Whitnauer getting her 100th win yesterday in game 1. 5-inning win for the Tigers, 9-1. Win number 100.
And then also got win number 101 in game number 2 as well. So hoping for win number 102.
So 1-2 count for Peyton Bowser. Trying to get the better of Alexis Johnson. Get a base runner on for Zoe Frosto. Swing and a miss. She'll head back to the dugout as out number 2 as Johnson gets her swinging. That's strikeout number 1 for Alexis Johnson on the day. Now Zoe Frosto going up to classic theme, classic cinema theme. See how the showdown unfolds between Johnson and Frosto. 1-0 count.
Frosto swung all over that very first pitch that she got in at bat number 1 to start off the inning, and
Weak contact over to Contreras, throw to first in time. So that'll be the inning. Tigers unable to put anything across. They still lead 4-2 as we head to the top of the fourth. Haley Swaitkowski, Alexis Johnson, and Maddie McPherson do up for the Roos when we come back on the Tiger Network.
Fourth inning for the
Here in the top of the fourth is Haley Swaitkowski starting things off for the Roos. She'll step in. Tigers still leading 4-2. We're almost halfway through game 3. Swaitkowski, the pitcher in game 1. Pops that one out of play. And a classic softball souvenir for TUPD. Hope they enjoy it.
Haven't sent any over into that yard in quite a while, actually. It's been a little bit since I remember seeing a foul ball go into that backyard, so good to get things back going to semi-regularity there.
That ball knocks some leaves off of a tree, but it stays in play, foul. So 0-2 count for Swaitkowski.
That's one thing that I think is really nice about this Trinity field is that it doesn't feel...
Pitch taken for ball 1. Krieshbaum ahead in the count, trying to finish off Swaitkowski.
The softball field doesn't feel too open, I guess. It feels very isolated and...
Lined into right field. It's going to get down. It'll head to the wall. Heading to second is Swaitkowski. She's going to third. The throw, not in time.
That's a triple.
So a triple for Haley Swaitkowski as she dives under the tag. Leadoff triple, no outs on the board. It's the Roos' best opportunity to score right now. What a play by the 5-hole bat.
In very close play there at third. It looked like the throw was in time and the tag was delivered good, but looks like Swaitkowski was just able to get the leg in there, and now with no outs and a runner 60 feet away, Krieshbaum is going to have a lot of work to do here against the next 3 batters.
Down to right field. We'll see if Swaitkowski tags. She does. Throw home is way in time. Swaitkowski will think better of it and head back to third. So out in right field as Alexis Johnson goes down in 1 pitch. Maddie McPherson will try and do a bit better.
Batting 7th, second baseman number 18, Maddie McPherson.
Her speed, she could draw a weak contact, try and leg one out while allowing Swaitkowski to score.
It would be interesting to see if Trinity went for the play at first.
And one lined foul into the left field foul territory. McPherson drew a walk back in the 2nd inning.
In game number 2, she also went 0 for 1.
Strike 2 to Maddie McPherson. Krieshbaum once again ahead in a count. Had difficulty putting batters away at the plate. Tagawa playing up. Bowser playing up. Strike 3 called. McPherson heads back to the dugout as out number 2. As Swiatkowski still stands at third.
The catcher, number 0.
Now Alessandra Tobar will have to get Swiatkowski home. Can't get a sac fly now. What a piece of work by Megan Krieshbaum to strike out McPherson.
Third K of the day for the freshman. And she's doing absolutely fantastically here in this top of the 4th inning after having allowed that triple. Just a great piece of work overall. And really firing on all cylinders now.
And they check over at third. They're not in time, as Swiatkowski dives back to be safe. It's a 2-0 count for Tobar. As the lefty trying to get the better of the freshman. Lifted out into left field. That one's foul. RC was the one ranging over to potentially make a play, but it is a 2-1 count now as a long strike for Tobar.
RC typically over in right field, which is where Marina de la Luna is right now. RC replacing Hayden Del Toro at that left field spot.
Swing and a miss. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs on the board for Tobar. LaRue with the red bat will step back into the batter's box. Krieshbaum ready with the 2-2 delivery. Too high, he gets away from Frosto. And that's going to allow Swiatkowski to score. So in the end, Swiatkowski does come home. It is 3-4, Tigers still leading. Now Tobar can change the way she approaches this at-bat. Without, no need to worry about Swiatkowski at third. Goal is to just get on now.
Just an unfortunate mistake there by Trinity, the wild pitch bringing in the runner.
Fouled back. Still a full count. The Roos have chipped away at the deficit. Now it's a 1-run game. Full count pitch. Misses. So ball 4. Tobar will head to first. Krieshbaum having struggles finding the zone. That is their third issued walk. Now Faith Butler 0 for 1 today, the sophomore. Works with Tobar at first base. Another lefty in this Rue lineup. And that pitch just goes over Frosto. And it's an easy enough take for Tobar. She heads over to second base. It's a 1-0 count for Butler. And now there's going to be a meeting in the circle, as that is the second pitch from Krieshbaum that has gone way over the head of Frosto.
Not seeing a lot of movement in the Trinity bullpen, so don't think that we're going to be getting a substitution here. And Coach Johnson over there talking with Tobar. Johnson, of course, in his second season as a head coach, joined this awesome team back in 2023 after doing some club softball coaching. So this is the second year at the collegiate level.
Pitch taken for ball 2 to Faith Butler. Krieshbaum still struggling to find the zone. Tobar in scoring position. We contact foul. 2-1 count for Butler now. Of course, women's tennis over in Georgia. They play Emory today. Wish them luck. Emory, nationally ranked team. Pitch taken. Tobar won't steal third. But a 3-1 count for Butler. She could be a base runner for the Roos. Three-one pitch. Fouled back. It's a 3-2 count.
Butler definitely wanted that one back. You could see as soon as the bat made contact, she kind of grimaced a little bit and wanted to kind of take that swing back, but set count now moves to full with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Fouled off. It's still a full count. Of course, Butler not in March Madness, but you can watch Iowa and South Carolina later today. National championship going on. I believe it happens at 3. Not exactly prime time, but still will be a good game. Throw over to third is an in-time walk drawn by Butler. And runners at the corners now for Elizabeth Preston. But a change at the pitcher position. Just a bit too much struggles will cause the change and arms in the circle. New pitcher in for the Tigers. We'll introduce her after this break on the Tiger Network.
Up the order, shortstop number 1.
New arm in the circle for the Tigers. It's Heather Nugent. 2.1 ERA. Comes in with an 0-1 record. 10 innings pitched. 2 whip. He has walked 7 batters and struck out 1. First pitch misses. And they cut off the throw. And now runner maybe in a pickle. Throw over to third. And now Tobar in between a rock and a hard place. Flip. They keep flipping it, and the tag not applied, and now it is. So a smart play by the Tigers to get Alessandra Tobar. Excellent play drawn up as Tagawa cut off the throw to second base, and then Tobar just could not find herself a way out of that situation.
Big collision there at home plate as well, and you can see excellent heads-up defense there. Marina De La Luna coming in all the way over, and a big hit at the plate between Williams and Tobar. You can see her kind of laying down there a little bit exhausted after that play, but Trinity with some fantastic defense to get the final out of the inning.
We'll take a break on the Tiger Network as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to the Tiger Network. It's Angela Baltzel to start things off for Trinity here in the bottom of the fourth. Drew a walk back in the second inning. So 0 for 0 today. First pitch from Johnson, who's still in the circle. Strike one to Baltzel. Just trying to keep the Tigers at 4 runs.
This is a very dangerous Trinity team in the fact that
Lined and snagged by Elizabeth Preston. Great play by the shortstop, ready for the line drive. So it will be Samantha Tagawa has 1 out on the board in the bottom of the fourth. Tigers offense trying to get going again. Stalled just a little bit.
Tagawa 1 for 2 on the day so far, reached on an error in the first and had a single in the second.
0-1 count for Tagawa. Sammy will spin the bat once before putting it back on her shoulder. Pitch misses, 1-1 count. She flashes the bat for just a moment. Alexis Johnson. Tigers gotten 6 hits off of her. Pitch misses. So Tagawa remaining patient. She's ahead in the count, 2-1. Johnson has only issued 1 walk. Trying not to issue 2. 3-1 count, she's in danger of doing so. Of course, Tagawa has drawn a walk against many pitchers over the course of her young career so far.
That 1 walk went to Baltzel back in her first at bat.
Lifted out into left field, it will be foul. Out of play foul. Will roll down the hill. Back to a good player in Sammy Tagawa at the top of the order. Been all reliable for the Tigers. It's a full count. Johnson, the delivery. Ground ball gets through into left field. So a base hit for Sammy Tagawa. She puts that between Contreras and Preston to let that one roll into the outfield grass, or the turf that looks like grass at least. So Tagawa at first, Sydney Watson striding over to the dish.
Tagawa came into this series with a .354 average and continues to have a fantastic freshman season. Of course, batting leadoff. We know she is expected to get on base, and she does such a fantastic job, not just in terms of drawing walks, but also in terms of getting hits. She has 28 of them coming into this series this year.
Watson takes strike 1 from Johnson. 0-1 delivery. Ground ball right back to Johnson. She throws to second in time. Throw to first. Pulls Swiatkowski off the bag. So will go down as a fielder's choice. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth for Hannah Boudreau. Still gets to work with the fast runner and Watson on first base.
Number 23, Hannah Boudreau.
Of course, there's a pinch hitter on deck for the Tigers. Sydney Boudreau will be the one to take the next AB, should it get to her. That one rocketed out. It will reach the wall easily in a flash. Watson will round third. Boudreau will have a double and an RBI. 5-3, Tiger lead as Hannah Boudreau rockets one that reaches the wall. You might want to check it for a dent because that's how hard she hit it. Now her twin sister, Sydney Boudreau, will try and drive her in.
Absolute rocket off the bat there is Sydney Boudreau coming up as a pinch hitter. But just a fantastic play overall by Boudreaux. We know what she can do with the bat in her hands, of course, leading the team in so many offensive categories, including RBIs, as now that gives her an impressive 4 RBI today. 2 of them coming off of that home run. Got one in her previous at-bat, and then it gets one here. A great day for the freshman out of Pearland.
Sydney Boudreaux getting a call to pinch hit here. Still 2 outs on the board. First pitch taken for a ball. She certainly got power as well. With Hannah Boudreaux on second base. Opportunity to knock her sister in. Next pitch from Johnson. Weak contact, but foul down the left field line. Big practice swing from Sydney Boudreaux. She is really wanting to rocket one out, similar to what Hannah did in the AB before. Pitch misses outside, so a 2-1 count. You can see outfielders playing a little further back than perhaps they normally would. With Carrie Johnson being beyond the logo in center.
Boudreaux got a big hit last night.
Swing and a miss. They get her chasing. So 2's on the board for Sydney Boudreaux. Freshman. Tigers are hitting .400 as a team in game 3. Ground ball off the glove of the shortstop. Hannah Boudreaux will stop at third. So the good momentum continues for the Tigers in this 2-out rally as Sydney Boudreaux reaches on an error by Elizabeth Preston.
After going 2 for 3 last night, Sydney Boudreaux comes in a big spot to get her first hit of the day in her first appearance. Will be credited as an error, so she will go 0 for 1, but still a great job with the bat in her hands over these last couple of appearances, as we don't typically get to see her a whole lot.
Jordan Arce at the dish. Weak contact taken in by Preston. Throw to first is in time. So Tigers will strand the Boudreaux twins on base. Head to the top of the 5th. Tigers put a run across to make it a 5-3 ball game. Elizabeth Preston, Tori Fowler, and Carrie Johnson, top of the order, due up for the Ruse when we come back on the Tiger Network. Back in San Antonio, Elizabeth Preston try and make up for the error committed like in the previous inning. Preston is 2 for 2 today. 2 singles in the first and 1 in the third. See Sydney Boudreaux staying in at first base. She is playing in a defensive change for the Tigers as Jordan Williams does not check back in. It's a 1-0 count as that first pitch misses the zone.
You know, thinking back to that play with Tobar at home, I'm wondering if Williams might have hurt her hand or something on that dive. It was a pretty hard collision, and I think that Williams' hand might have gotten caught up in there. Either that or Coach Whitnauer just deciding to let Sydney stay in for a little bit, get some more reps. Because she has played at that first base position off and on, mainly towards the start of the year whenever Williams was playing more of the catcher role in that kind of catcher by committee.
Ball too low. It's a 2-2 count for Preston. Either way, it is Sydney Boudreau at first base. Pitch taken for ball 3. As Nugent trying not to lose Preston. Ground ball. Bobbled by Tagawa. It's going to let Preston get on to first base. So Preston will stand on first. She continues her on-base streak. As now Tori Fowler will come up to bat.
Number 2 slot, left fielder, number 9, Tori Fowler.
If there's been one hole in Sammy's game so far this year, it's been the fielding. 8 errors, make that 9 errors on the season for her so far. Leads the team in that category. And
the runner goes, throw to second. Play at the plate. Oh, but they're going to say she came off. So Preston will be out. The initial call was safe, but I believe perhaps the hand of Preston coming off the bag.
she overslid the mark right there. That's one of the big factors of turf versus dirt. Dirt grips a lot better, allows you to stop a little bit more dead even on the bag, and Preston just overshot it right there.
Popped up, play could be made. And it is made. Peyton Bowser, tough play in foul territory. It's 2 outs now as things have shifted against the Roos here in the top of the 5th. It's Carrie Johnson stepping up to the plate now.
And that's how the Trinity defense works. They are so good at just making those adjustments, doing their best, and working together to create such a stifling combined defense.
Carrie Johnson, 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk in the first. Pitch taken for a strike. Grounded out in the third. So 1-1 count for Carrie Johnson. Pitch from Nugent. And it'll be a base hit up the middle. So Johnson will prevent the 1-2-3 inning from happening, as Lindsey Bush will look to continue things for the Roos of Austin College.
And Nugent so far this season coming in with a 2.10 ERA, but she's only had 10 innings of work up to this point.
That one is fouled. So it'll be an 0-1 count for Bush.
She served in much more of a relief role so far this season, but she's working very well here so far coming into this game in the 4th inning.
Swing and a miss. Great off-speed pitch. Makes it an 0-2 count for Bush. She is going to try and salvage this AB, but she's down 0-2. Misses, blown away. 1-2 for the senior. Is Haley Swiatkowski on deck for the Roos. She is 1 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Heather Nugent. as that one will take us into the bottom of the 5th. No runs come across for the Roos. It is still a 5-3 ball game. Marina De La Luna, Peyton Bowser, and Zoe Frosto due up for the Tigers after this break on the Tiger Network. It is Marina De La Luna to lead things off for the Tigers. In the bottom of the 5th inning, they're up 5-3. Marina De La Luna 1 for 2 today. RBI single back in the 1st inning. Flew out to right field back in the 3rd. Listens to her walk-up song for a little bit before getting ready to take on Johnson yet again. Alexis Johnson, first pitch of the bottom of the 5th, misses for ball 1. Working against a dangerous bat in Marina De La Luna. Can never underestimate her power. Intimidating figure in the box. That one put out into right field. The catch will not be made. Will get over the glove of Faith Butler as she misjudged it out into right field. So a double for Marina De La Luna. As unfortunately for Butler, just didn't get the glove in the right position.
The wind just picked up as well, blowing from left into right. And potentially the wind there at the height of the arc could have knocked that one a little bit off course. Made it a bit more difficult for Butler because that's kind of the first sort of slip up that we've seen from her over this 3-game series so far, as this Austin outfield has been very incredible.
And lined right to Elizabeth Preston. That was Carson Lee, who just lined out right there, the pinch hitter. Now Zoe Frosto will come in to try and bring in De La Luna. One out on the board. We'll see what Frosto can do against Alexis Johnson. Had that resounding double back in the 2nd inning. We contact a ground out in the 3rd. See what Frosto can do here. Swing and a miss. The strike 1 for Frosto. De La Luna on 2nd base. If Frosto hits another ball out to the wall, that will certainly score her. Pitch misses, so evens up the count at 1-1.
Frosto already matched her career total, the sophomore out of Katy, Texas. Only had 1 at-bat last season, and that 1 at-bat resulted in a hit. So she is not afraid to go swinging, and did so in her 1st at-bat, and did so in her 2nd as well.
So 1-2 count for Frosto. Now Johnson, a junior, going up against another junior in Zoe Frosto. Check the swing. Didn't check the swing, said the field umpire. So that will be a strikeout. as Frosto looked like checked the swing from here, but apparently did not, according to the field umpire. So out number 2, Angela Baltzel will be the one tasked to bring Marina Del Luna home. Always rough.
Baltzel 0 for 1 today, walked and then lined out in the 2nd and 4th, respectively. And she's part of what makes this Trinity offense so dangerous, because whenever you've got your 9-hole hitter hitting over 300, it really shows that there are no weak links in this Trinity offense.
It's a 2-0 count for Angela Baltzel now. Walked in the 2nd, lined out back in the 4th, over to Elizabeth Preston. Alexis Johnson, 2-0 pitch. In for a strike. Attacking the top of the zone. 2-1 count. That one fouled off. Very own Tiger staff here. Quinn not looking.
Almost got hit there. Landed about, I'd say, 3 or so feet behind and to the left of him.
Too busy watching the Phillies, or maybe fantasy baseball. That one's fouled off on the roof of the Rue dugout. Ball rolls off the roof.
I feel like a little gutter system for the balls themselves. There already is a gutter system for the water, but I feel like a ball gutter system would be very, very effective.
Another ball fouled off. It is still a 2-2 count as number 2, Angela Baltzel, continues to fight against Alexis Johnson. Not going down easily. Sammy Tagawa on deck for the Tigers, should she get a chance. Up the middle for a base hit. Del Luna could score. She's heading home. The throw is not in time. So Baltzel will head to second.
RBI, Angela
An RBI for Angela Baltzel. It is now 6-3. So great base running by De La Luna and a great awareness by Baltzel to head to second. That's put the runner in scoring position for Sammy Tagawa.
Some communication here between Tobar and the home plate official. Not entirely sure what they're talking about, as Tobar wasn't able to get the tag delivered, but would be interested to know what they were talking about. But either way, Trinity leading 6-3 now and really extending their gap.
Bunt flashed and laid down. A very good bunt. You can't do a bunt any better. And Sammy Tagawa takes second base because nobody was covering second. So Tagawa, great heads-up play. Now 2 runners in scoring position. A meeting will occur in the circle. We'll see if Johnson's day is over. Looks like maybe just a conversation for now, but great bunt by Tagawa, and she turns it into a 2-bagger.
A big mental miscue there by the Austin College defense. Not entirely sure why there was nobody covering, and it will allow runners on second and third, so a pretty dangerous situation for Johnson to be in here.
Now with Watson getting to work with Angela Baltzel and Samantha Tagawa on the base paths.
Number 2,
1 for 3 today. Hasn't had a hit since the first inning. Be quite the moment to get one now. The Tigers just wanting to pour it on against the Roos. They're up by 3. Scored a run already in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch taken for strike 1. Tagawa and Baltzel ready to streak to their next base as soon as the ball is put in play.
Both those base runners with plenty of speed as well.
And that one's going to get through for a base hit. Tagawa will head home. The throw is cut off. So 2 RBI single for Sydney Watson as she gets it over the head of Preston. So it is 8-3. The Tigers have a 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th. A 12-hit day for Trinity as everything is going their way. And it looks like there will be a change in the circle. Alexis Johnson's day is over. She tosses it over to one of her teammates.
It's going to be.
We'll take a break on the Tiger Network, and we'll introduce you to her after the warm-up. Welcome back to the Tiger Network.
Designated player number 23.
It'll be Hannah Boudreau getting a look at not Alexis Johnson, but Carrie Johnson. Carrie Johnson will be the one to try and prevent any more damage from happening. The senior coming in with an ERA of 2.74. Number 21. Whip of 1.7. 5 walks to 1 strikeout. Tasked with preventing the Tigers from putting on any more runs. They score 3 more, the game's over. First pitch is too high for ball 1. Out into center field is Alexis Johnson. Runner goes, the throw offline. So still on base for Sydney Watson. But Boudreau takes that for a strike, so it's a 1-1 count for the 3-hole Tiger bat.
The stolen base, number 10 on the season for Watson, I believe. And just yet another one of these Tigers with fantastic speed on the base paths.
Pitch misses, 2-1 count. Boudreau 2 for 3 today. 4 RBI day. Trying to get number 5 by bringing in Watson. Or if it's a home run, it'll be a 6 RBI day. Wind blowing a little bit more now. That one misses the zone. 3-1 count for Boudreau. Sure. Johnson wouldn't be too upset if it was a walk for Boudreau. That one even better. Put out into right field, and the catch is made by Butler. And that will end the 5th inning. Tigers put across 3 to extend the lead to 5. It is 8-3.
3 runs for
Trinity will head back out on defense. It is Haley Swiatkowski, Alexis Johnson, and Maddie McPherson due up for the Roos in the top of the 6th, as they are in crunch time now. back in San Antonio. Heather Nugent still in the circle for Trinity. She's been pitching well so far. Haley Swiatkowski. Swiatkowski is stepping up to the dish. The next batter that Nugent will face. Pitch taken for ball one. Alexis Johnson on deck for the Roos and Maddie McPherson in the hole. The Roos try to dig out of a 5-run deficit. Good off speed, but missing the zone for ball two.
Swiatkowski 1 for 2 on the day so far. Got that triple in the fourth.
Weak contact taken in by Bowser. Throw to first, picked by Sydney Poudreau. That'll be out number one of the inning. Poudreau extending, getting an emphatic high five from Tagawa. All smiles in the Tiger infield right now. Alexis Johnson 0 for 2 today. Trying to help herself out.
Fantastic play down in the turf there by Boudreau, able to get that one.
A swing and a miss. Johnson goes down in the count, 0-1. Tigers have done very well putting runs on the board today. Pitch misses, 1-1 count. To Johnson, unable to go the complete game this time. The Tigers knock her out after 5 innings of work. That one put out into left field. No diving attempt. Ball's bobbled a little bit, but it'll be a base hit either way for Alexis Johnson. First hit in game 3 for her. So now Maddie McPherson will step on up to the Oche. Thought Watson may make a diving attempt, but decided to play it safe.
Would have been a very dangerous one if she had, because RC was coming up trying to get there as well. And you definitely don't want a collision between your best two-way player and one of your best batters. Likely a smart survival move there, as even if she had dived, I doubt that she would have been able to get there.
It's an 0-1 count. Make it an 0-2 count as McPherson doesn't pull back on the bunt. Alessandra Tobar on deck for Austin College. For now, Heather Nugent, 0-2 pitch. Taken for ball one. Trying to spin one in the zone, unable to. Not shifting Tagawa in now that there's a runner on first. Pitch too high. The ball will get away. Alexis Johnson thinks about going for it, but decides to stay on first. So a 2-2 count. It's McPherson trying to work her way back in to a favorable situation. We contact, gets past the glove of Peyton Bowser. Johnson will head to second. And now 2 base runners for Austin College with 1 out on the board in the top of the 6th. Drew the contact, but is getting it over Peyton Bowser. So now Alessandra Tobar, freshman with the opportunity to do some heavy lifting for the Roos. 0 for 1 today. Strike 1. Ground ball and a walk for Tobar.
That hit there was some very smart small ball play. Nothing too extreme, not poking it into the outfield, just getting it past the fielders, and it's something that you don't want to try and go too hard for the fences, because then you might end up popping out and not really doing too much of anything. So some very smart hitting by McPherson.
It's an 0-2 count. Taken for strike 3. Tobar disagreeing with the call. She heads back to the dugout as out number 2. Heather Nugent collects strikeout number 2. As that is a backwards K. Now Faith Butler steps up to the dish. Peyton Bowser playing in along with Samantha Tagawa. Pitch too high. Trying to loop that one in the zone. Unable to have it drop in time, so 1-0 count for Butler. Gentle breeze in San Antonio. Pitch is taken for strike 1. Evens up the count. Trying to get it to Elizabeth Preston. Preston 2 for 3 today. Certainly the bat you want in the box if you're Austin College. That one right to Bowser, and that'll end the top of the 6th. The hot corner makes the good play, and we will head into the bottom of the 6th frame with the Tigers still leading 8-3. It is Sydney Boudreau, Jordan Arce, and Marina De La Luna due up for the Tigers when we come back after this break. Sydney Boudreau gets to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still an 8-3 Tiger lead. And the first pitch from Carrie Johnson to Boudreau. Misses for ball 1. It is a 1-0 count. We contact, but foul. Makes it 1-1.
Boudreau last night had a pretty good performance. 3 for 2 in her in one of her first starts as the designated player. Had an RBI as well, and reached on an error earlier on.
Down the left field line, foul. It's a 1-2 count for Sydney Boudreau. Flashes the bat there. Johnson coming out of center field to pitch. Alexis Johnson going into center field now to play center fielder, so switch of that position. One rocketed out into center field, make it over the head, and it's off the glove of Johnson. It'll be a long single for Sydney Boudreau. She rocketed that one out into center field, just laced on a rope. And now Jordan Arce gets to work with a base runner.
Great hitting there by Boudreau, just straight back up the middle and very deep. I think that Johnson was kind of struggling to backpedal there in time, got tripped up a little bit and had to reach the glove up, not able to get it in the same spot that she may have wanted. And it ended up bouncing off of, I believe, her wrist before dropping for a base hit. And Boudreau now going to go 1 for 2, and as mentioned, setting up a runner on base for Arce.
Ripped down into left field. It's a base hit for Jordan Arce.
Base hit for Jordan Arce.
Runner advances to second base. So now, with no outs, there are 2 on.
Batting
With
sixth, right fielder
Marina
number
De La
17,
Luna.
Marina De La Luna.
Of course, home run would end the game as a walk-off. Tigers would be up by 8 at that point. De La Luna, I'm sure, making sure that she puts something into play. Ground up the middle. It's a base hit. Runners advance. And now the ambush of Tigers back on the base paths. Now Peyton Bowser will step up in a big primetime opportunity.
Batting seventh.
Junior 0 for 2 today.
De La Luna, the senior out of Concord, California, doing absolutely fantastic for herself. 3 for 4 on the day. Tied with Sammy Tagawa at the top of that particular spot.
First pitch misses low. It's a 1-0 count for Peyton Bowser. She looks to play the role of final boss to Carrie Johnson. That one's a base hit. That'll score. Cindy Boudreau. And Arce ran into one of the players. The ball gets away, so runners will advance. So 2 runs will score. And I think they're waving in another run for the interference. So 3 runs are going to score, and that's going to end the game.
A walk-off interference. That is definitely one of the newer ones I think that we've seen. I think that because Tobar got into the base path before.
No, they're going to call Contreras for interference at third as Arce barreled right through her because she was in the middle of the runner's path. And I think that's going to allow them to wave in that extra run. It was something that the Tigers wanted last time, and they get it this time. It is 11-3 as a final score. The game ends in 6 innings.
Final score.
And man, a
Trinity 11, Austin College
15
3.
and now a 16-hit performance for the Tigers. They blistered on offense and some good pitching as well. Makes it so the Tigers will break out the brooms and sweep the series against the Roos.
Sweep number 3 in conference play. 3 of their 4 series have been done in sweeps, and it now extends Trinity's home record out to 17-8 on the season so far. 17-8 at home on the season so far, I should say. Brings the record out to a very impressive 22-9 on the season, and getting very close to almost 10 more runs.
Have a midweek series against Laterno in Brownwood on Tuesday the 9th, and then they'll host the University of Dallas on the 13th and 14th, as that'll be a series that is very crucial for the Roos. Also for Austin College on their side, RBIs will be credited to Kerry Johnson, Lindsey Bush. And thank you for joining us on the Tiger Network. It's an 11-3 win for Trinity in 6 innings. For everyone in the control room, Josh Machugemba making sure our stream is still alive. Justin Parker, Seth Asbury, and James the Thrill Hill, and Caleb Reed. I am Reed Rosales signing off for the Tiger Network this week.